Aaron, Nick Gallo, OKC Thunder, seemed like you guys were able to bring kind of a level of juice to this game coming in off the bench that your team really needed. What was your hope or goal as you checked in tonight?
Like you said, I mean, just kind of bringing energy, trying to uplift the team. Got off to a slow start, so just trying to do anything to kind of, bring a little bit of fire and, get guys going a little bit.
What did you see in the second half just to be able to hang in there? It seemed like they just couldn't totally break free from you guys.
Yeah, I mean, tough group of guys who want to compete, want to win. So we weren't fazed by the lead that they kind of created. We understood that you got to stack plays and you got to kind of just be disciplined and trust what we have and put forth the effort. And we were able to crawl back into it, but I mean, the early lead we kind of gave them ultimately just kind of set them up for a win. So I mean, showed a lot of fight, but just came up short.
And leading up to the late run, obviously they're super efficient. They get 33 free throws. I just wondered what you saw in real time on your end defensively as a team that maybe was solvable, or it could have been done differently.
I mean, I think defensively we started to just kind of key in. They were kind of scoring at will in the first half, whatever they wanted. I think second half we just kind of started to lock in with personnel and rotations and kind of be better on ball. But I mean, they played well. They hit shots. They hit some big shots. Played well. Just didn't do enough. Waited too late. You can't have those nights like that.
Aaron, what did that effort in the second half to claw back from down 21 points in the second half of a back-to-back, just on the road, what does that sort of effort require mentally from this group?
I don't know how to explain it, but it's a lot of mental toughness that kind of goes into it because it's one of those games where, you could have excuses, but we found ourselves, we're playing the game, go win. So, found ourselves in a fight, understood that if we just keep knocking at the door and keep kind of just, pushing, we could find ourselves back in it. And we were able to get it down to one possession. And I think everybody thought that shot was going in. So that's a shot we live with.
And just everybody that stepped onto the floor scored for you guys. 9 guys scored 9 or more points. Just how much value does that sort of balanced offense have for you guys?
I mean, that's huge. When you have a team that plays together, trusts the offense, trusts one another, and makes the right plays, it just kind of opens up the floor. Makes other teams just kind of have to, key in and respect every person on the floor that steps onto the court. So that's huge. Like you guys said, the bench brought good energy and was able to kind of uplift us. And then guys got going, and I mean, that's a tough loss. It's a tough one.
Aaron, I do wonder because to start the season, it felt like all we were talking about was the glass, and you guys have ironed some of that out, obviously. But tonight, some of their effort, it felt like was reminiscent of some of the early season stuff. I just wonder what you saw from them in terms of effort, maybe on your end effort, that left such a glaring gap on the glass.
Yeah, I mean, the slow start hurt us. They hit shots early, and then when you get off to a slow start, the little things become bigger. They become more of a factor. And so we just kind of had to try to key in on it. But, they have good size. They have guys in there who, are crashing the glass. And we got to be better, just kind of paying attention to and knowing personnel, guys who crash the glass, being aware of our surroundings. Clint Capella's down there. Somebody's got to get him out. And then on the offensive end, trying to get second chance opportunities. All of that just kind of factors into it. So.
That last play that Mark drew up to give Joe the look in the corner, are those type of plays something you guys practice?
I mean, every now and then, we practice in the quarter plays and stuff like that. But he draws them up on the spot. He's got some stuff up his sleeve, so he was able to just draw it up. And guys liked it coming out of the timeout, and got a good look. So
just trying to keep that mindset that we're an uncommon team. That's really what kind of pushed us through. And, us making that run later in the stretch, that's something we was preaching.
Yeah, tell me about that run and what it felt like, on the floor and on the bench as you guys just kept hanging around until you were able to make it a one-possession game.
It started on defense, had to get stops. We knew we couldn't just go down there and just keep going bucket for bucket with them if we were down. So just, throwing different looks at them, trying to slow them down and scoring on the other end.
Cason, obviously I think they finished with 33 free throws. For a while there, Trey was just constantly getting to the line or getting whistles. I wonder what you saw out there that made that so challenging and put so much pressure on the defense to just blow the whistle constantly.
He's a superstar. I mean, they get those calls from what I've seen, so far in the league. So show our hands better maybe, try to stay in front or, something different.
And the defense before that late run, Mark just mentioned that the energy wasn't necessarily there. I wonder what you saw that you guys could have done better just defending them and how efficient they ended up being.
They made, the open shots. I feel like we were a little late on our rotations and, our pursuits.
Cason, everybody that stepped onto the floor scored for you guys. Just how valuable is that balance that you guys have offensively?
It's great knowing that everybody can create for themselves or others, unselfish team. So everybody that gets out there contributes.
And then when you see a guy like Lindy, who hasn't necessarily, had regular rotation minutes, step in, knock down, big three-pointers, 3 of them tonight, just what does that say about him and really kind of this whole team?
We know that he's a shooter, so whenever he touches it and put it up, I feel like we all have confidence in him that it's going in, and he does as well. So just him getting his opportunity and, making the most of it was great.
Hey, Cal, OKC Thunder, Mark, down 21. What were the kind of internal conversations like with your guys to keep putting pressure on them, keep hanging around, and give yourselves a chance?
Yeah, we didn't have our best tonight, obviously, but I thought we stuck together and stayed in it. I thought as the game wore on, we got more and more energy and more engaged after obviously a sluggish start. So some positives there, but obviously we kind of played on their terms tonight with how they usually play, and we kind of slipped into that kind of game with them. And credit them, they didn't. We never led. They led the whole game. So they outplayed us tonight.
Anything that you noticed about the first quarter in particular? You called that early timeout. Was there something that you all weren't doing that allowed them to play on their terms?
I mean, it just takes unbelievable energy to win a game, and it takes particularly great energy to stop and slow down this team. I mean, there's a reason why they score the way they do every night, and so the energy that we needed to have wasn't there for much of the night on the defensive end, obviously, as evidenced by how well they scored it tonight. So, like I said, we just didn't play well enough to win.
Mark, you mentioned the defensive energy. Obviously, you guys eventually figured out the offense, but it's tough to save the lead there when they're shooting the way they are. I wonder what they did that maybe you weren't prepared for, and what in real time you saw that was maybe solvable.
They didn't do anything they don't do to everybody, but it's hard. It's like hitting a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. It's hard when you get in the batter's box with them. So, I mean, Young's obviously incredibly slippery. Slowing him down is easier said than done. No margin for error with Bogdanovich, obviously. Murray gets to his spots. They're a beast on the glass. There's a reason why they score the way they do every night. So it just requires unbelievable energy in order to slow that down. And even if you do that, they can still, get on a heater and have a good one. So obviously we didn't have enough tonight.
Yeah. And you mentioned Trey. I know that's been his game, is putting pressure on the defense to blow the whistle. But it felt like beyond him, some of the other guys were putting pressure on the rim, drawing fouls. I wonder what you saw that maybe amplified the foul drawing and made it so tough, challenging that aspect.
Well, I mean, there's a reason why he's so good, but you got to pick him up high because he can really shoot from distance. And when you give him that much space, he's incredibly good with the ball, and so then he starts into rejecting screens and keeping people off balance. And once he's kind of got you at his mercy, he really knows how to initiate contact. I thought most of those were fouls. He does a really good job of selling those plays. So, we could have been a lot tighter. I thought, we got it a little bit under control in the second half, but obviously, we dug ourselves a huge hole tonight.
And then Kenrich, is that a back-to-back thing, him not playing, or what was that?
Not rest for him, more just wanting to get other guys more run. We've got a lot of guys that we trust. There's guys that I've wanted to get some run for. Jay Will in particular, get him a little bit more than the little short bursts. Wiggins, get him more. Lindy Waters is a guy that we have a lot of faith in, we haven't played a lot to this point, and it's just hard. I don't think it's fair to anybody to play them all, 7 minutes. So it's better to give somebody a night off. I thought that was appropriate with him and Vasa tonight. That's why I did that. It was planned going in.
I wanted to ask you about the defense on that last possession where Boyan missed the three. Just the discipline from your group on the floor to not foul, but also force a contested shot there.
Yeah, the good news is I thought we, down 12 or whatever we were, I thought, our situational awareness down the stretch was outstanding. We really stacked good possessions, to get ourselves back in that game, from pressing them and forcing them to use both timeouts to advance the ball to the way we played offense in that stretch. And that's a tough differential. It's a 3-second differential. It's not a lot of time. But I just kind of felt like, in order to win that game, you can't give them a 2-possession, difference. And we did a really good job of kind of hanging tight there. Shea got a big-time rebound, let us call timeout, and obviously gave us a chance to tie the game.
And then just wanted to ask you about the balance that you had offensively in terms of scoring. All 10 guys scored, 9 of them scored 9 or more. Is this an example of what you're talking about, where you're going to need everybody on stretches like this and nights like this?
Yeah, I thought, the guys that won the game tonight, gave good effort, and I thought the intent of, more Jay Will, more Wiggins, more Lindy in particular was energy-based, inject some energy with guys that haven't played as much and let the motivation of the opportunity, ignite us a little bit. And I thought we had the desired effect there. Those guys really, they all lifted us when they were in the game tonight. That was a much-needed boost that we needed from them.
Mark, it was an uphill battle, but it comes down to your team's fight, not giving up, and it comes down to an Isaiah Joe 3 there at the buzzer. What did you learn about your team tonight?
It's not always going to be perfect, and I'll ride with these guys any night. It wasn't our fastball tonight, but I have great respect for who we have as competitors. The 82-game season and tough parts of the schedule make it hard to really throw your best pitch every single night, but to continue to fight the way we did is impressive, but it's also who these guys have proven to be over a long period of time. So now we got to get some rest and get off our feet and get ourselves ready to play Brooklyn. It's a good challenge for us on Friday.
Anyone else? Go ahead, Joel.
Mark, I do wonder, because this isn't the first game where you've had a chance late to kind of make a run and win a game that probably wasn't winnable early on. So I just wonder how much you care or value, because obviously you probably want a run like that earlier, but to be an ATO away from overtime, like how much do you value that late juice?
I mean, there's a lot of 82 games, a lot of games, but every time a game goes by, that's one less opportunity you have. And so we want to be a team that just squeezes all the juice out of the season, with every single minute we can play. And like I said, we put ourselves in a great position tonight late to try to give ourselves a chance. But there's also lessons from this game. I mean, when you end up losing by 3, at any point in the game, if we had just gotten a little bit tighter or if we started a little bit better, it could have been a different night. Obviously, we were one possession away from that one.